In today's video, I'm going to show you guys every money-making strat that I currently know of in New World, so you guys can make a bunch of gold regardless of what server you're on, regardless of what level you're on. I'm not going to tell you go get this particular rare item and then sell that, because if the video does well enough, that's no longer going to work anymore. So I'm going to show you guys the 3 main ways to make money. I'm not going to show you guys particularly prices because, you know, depending on what server you're on, prices vary hugely. So I'm just going to show you guys how to make money, not just get this one item and sell that. I got you guys. So 3 overall strats are supply the crafter, be the crafter, or be the businessman. All 3 work regardless of server, but the main thing you want to pay attention to is the area that you sell things in. On my server, Everfall is easily the trading hub of our server because it's just in the center and it's a pretty easy starter area and it's just central. I assume that's the same situation for most people. That is great if you're trying to buy things for cheap, but if you're trying to sell it, you don't want to sell it here because everything is going to reduce price and you'll be able to sell it for twice as much, 10 times as much, 20 times as much in other areas as long as there is demand for what you are selling. For example, if you try and sell steel tools in a level 60 area, there might not be any current supply there, but there's not going to be demand there anyway. They're level 60 now, they have star metal, they have orichalcum, or how you pronounce that. They have the higher tier tools already there, so they don't want that. Consumables though, like food, pots at higher level will sell in those areas just like they will in the starter zones as well. So strat 1 is supply the crafter. This can be extremely reliable and have a huge profit margin if you guys find the hidden gem on your server. You want to supply whatever crafters need to level up their trade skills. If you are level 10 and you just want to make a little bit of gold, wood, fiber, and iron are the 3 raw materials that literally everyone needs in such huge quantities for any trade skill they're trying to level up. It's not going to make you a huge profit margin, but it's things people don't want to just constantly go get and take a lot of time. But if you are low level, that can be your job, and selling those can make you gold. But it is a little bit short-sighted because if you use those materials to level up your crafting skill, that way you can supply the higher tier ones for a higher price if you guys want to do that for the long term. For example, if you're originally supplying iron, you can now supply steel, star metal, orichalcum, whatever the hell it's called. All of those will increase in price and you can make more money. Where the real money is though in supplying crafters is finding what they make in mass to level their trade skill and supplying the resources to make that material. For example, gunpowder is well known for increasing your engineering skill for not a lot of resources, but they're resources most people don't have in a huge quantity. For example, flint. Nobody just picks up flint, and saltpeter is not everywhere on the map. It's pretty hard to find. You kind of have to go out your way to go and get it, and most people don't do that. But if you're that guy that picks up the flint, and if you're that guy that takes the route to find saltpeter, you can sell that at a decent profit depending on what server you're on, depending on what area you sell it in. Supplying the less popular trade skills is also a really good way to make a bunch of money because not as many people are supplying those resources and you can sell them for more. For example, I'd say arcana, food, furnishing, stone cutting are the least popular ones. At least I could be a little biased because I just don't do those, but you get what I mean. Find out what the least popular ones are and supply those resources because they will sell for more. For example, motes or any of the stems, anything that requires harvesting isn't very popular, at least on my server at the moment. Motes are still selling for over $2 and they are tier 1 resources. The tier 2, tier 3, tier 4s are going to sell for even more, and they're for consumable items. Anything that is required for a consumable that everybody uses, for example food or pots, everybody wants those in high quantities all the time. So if you're supplying the resources for that, they'll constantly be in demand. Like I said, supplying the kitchen is another great way to go, but if you only supply the basic food materials, you're not going to make a huge profit. For example, red meat will sell, but it's not going to make you a heap of gold. You want to look into the specialty items. There is a lot of specialty items, all which give you different bonuses, etc., and will depend on your level. For example, a low level one, which is pretty good, is roasted potatoes. It gives you mining luck. So if you go and find potatoes, butter, and peppercorn to supply those crafters, you're going to make good gold out of that. Particularly things like potatoes, cabbages, carrots, corn, there's other ones. They only come from farms and there's no other way to get them. They're not going to come from chests. You have to go out of your way to go get them. And if you're that guy that goes out of their way, you're going to make gold in New World. Another huge one for supplying crafters is faction reward craftables. The weapons and the armor are bind and pick up, so can't sell those. But anything that is a craftable is huge because they take a lot of time. And most people don't do faction missions while leveling. They don't give you a bunch of XP. But if you are supplying the crafters, for example, Grand Rune of Holding or any tier of Rune of Holding is really good because you can make high tier bags out of them. And you can also make the chests for furnishing houses, and you can have more storage in your house via those. So those are really valuable. You can also sell the chisels. They're somewhere in here. These ones are used to make tuning orbs. That is another huge thing for endgame in particular. Hi, editing Cody. Just realized that said bind and pickup. You can't sell that, but same point. Tuning orbs, everybody wants them, particularly endgame, starting from like 25, 30. Tuning orbs let you into dungeons. Everybody wants them. They're hard to make and they require a lot of random rare resources. If you can find and supply any of these resources, find them and sell them. Strat 2 is be the crafter, pretty much the evolution of the last one. Anything that I just said you could supply for, you can craft yourself and sell for an even higher profit. If you specialize in something, you can make a profit off that. That's how I pretty much made all of my 40k gold coins that I currently have. And honestly, you could do way better than I have. I haven't played for a week. I've been unwell, and it's not the main thing I focus on. But if you are all about gold coins, you could easily have 50k. You could easily have 100k if you really put in the hours and specialize in a particular kind of crafting. For example, the main way I did it, I sold high tier bags at the start. My server got a little bit more populated with the trade ability, so the prices went down. I wasn't making as much, but for some reason, star metal tools was a huge thing for me that I could sell, and I'm still selling for a decent amount. As you can see, all of these prices are insane. If you're on a high pop server, you're probably looking at this like, screw this guy, he gets to sell things for 3 times the price. But even on my server, if I sold any of these things in Everfall, most star metal tools are like 150, 200 gold for blue rarity items. I took it to Brightwood, I took it to Weaver's Fen, I took it to Restless Shore, I took it to the higher tier zones, not the level 60 ones, but like the level 40-ish areas away from Everfall, away from Windswood, and I sold it for twice the price. Reverting back to what I said originally, make sure you know the prices in all the areas for what you're trying to sell, and make sure you sell to where there is still demand and a decent price. For example, if you're still pretty new at selling things in New World, go find the thing you're trying to sell. For example, a star metal sickle. In Everfall right now, the cheapest blue rarity one is 180 gold. That is pretty decent price. It's pretty cheap because it is Everfall. But for example, if we go to Weaver's Fen, currently there's only one in supply and it's currently $450. So you can sell yours for 400, be the cheapest in this area, and still sell twice the amount that it currently is in Everfall. Now, like I said, supplying a less popular trade skill is really profitable. Being the person that is the crafter of that trade skill, where there is a high demand, low supply, is extremely profitable for your gold stonks. For example, gems are one of the highest profitable ones. For example, pearls, I think, are the more expensive. 300 plus in Everfall for 0.5% luck on any of your armor and or weapons. That is insanely profitable. Go for anything that is less popular. If you haven't specialized in anything yet, specialize in something that is less popular. For example, furnishing. Everybody wants storage. Everybody wants the storage chests in their house, but nobody has got to that level of furnishing yet. Be that guy and sell it for a bunch of money. Sell gems, sell furnishing chests, sell high tier bags, sell high tier tools like I'm doing, sell consumables. High tier food is good, but also selling a luck rarity food, stuff like that, is also really good. Selling potions are awesome because everybody needs potions. They consume them like crazy. Doing any raids, you just burn through them all. Be the person supplying what there is demand of, but there isn't a huge supply of. Third strat is the businessman strat. It is easily one of the best strats, most profitable if you guys are paying attention to your server, the trade markets, and the deals that are currently going on in the town that you're in. If you buy those deals, you can resell them in the same town or in a different town for a huge profit. It's pretty hard to give examples because, of course, server by server basis, but right now, for some reason, somebody is selling a blue rarity star metal pickaxe in Everfall, the town I'm in right now, for 28 gold. Why? I don't know. But I can buy that, sell in a Weaver's Fen for 400 gold, which is how at the price I've sold a lot of my star metal tools at, and they're successfully sold, and make a 370 gold profit. Another good thing is consumables, things like food or health pots. They're not currently in supply in all the towns. In high pot servers, maybe they are by now, but if you're on it right now, you're on a relatively low pop, you might be able to buy food in Everfall and go sell in Ebonscale Reach or Reekwater, a high tier area, for a little bit more. So if you're on a lower tier server, you'll be able to sell it for a bigger profit margin, but regardless, you should be able to sell it for at least a profit margin. Right now, I went to Ebonscale Reach today and there was literally no food. I was out of food and I had to teleport somewhere else, wasting Azoth to go buy it, which was very annoying. But I can buy 500 light meals currently in Everfall for $5 whole. Go back to Ebonscale Reach, sell them for even 50 cents each or $1 each, and I'm making a ridiculous profit margin just off some food because people don't want to teleport. They'll just buy it for a slightly higher price. Find the hidden gems in your guys' server and you'll make a bunch of gold in New World, I promise you. I hope you guys found the video helpful. If you did, don't forget to smash subscribe. Feel free to check us out on Twitch. It's linked in the description down below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Catch you guys next video and a live stream. Till then, adios.